How's it going, kiddos? Welcome to Brainstitch Chronicles. We just finished the full playthrough of Bad North Jotunn edition, which you can check out on this channel if interested. Links are in the description below. Today I'm bringing a complete basics guide to better understand the game and its mechanics, to increase your survivability and hopes of escaping the Viking horde. Let's get right into it. When starting a new game, you have the option to pick a difficulty, which is straightforward, and I believe if you are going through the game for the first time, you cannot go straight to the hardest difficulty available, as you need to go through the game on the lower difficulties first. It is because you will find certain items and traits that you can eventually use when pursuing the harder difficulties, making for more unique and fun playthroughs. If you decide to purchase the deluxe edition, you will get the option for enhanced character portrait. That means you will have a crown design on your starting two commanders' portraits and characters. This is purely cosmetic and won't enhance your commander's power. Additionally, if you purchase the deluxe edition, you will receive the full original 11 soundtrack files and a few digital wallpapers for your PC and mobile phone. This pack is great if you want to support the developers, as you're not getting any extra content. You have the option to start with the tutorial, which is recommended when starting a new game. You also have the option for level restarts, which is important to have checked because if you don't, you will go through a hard mode playthrough. That means if any of your commanders die, they are permanently dead, and you won't have the option to restart the level. As soon as you deploy your troops on an island, you cannot restart the level. You can only abandon the island and lose your commanders forever, or face the Vikings and eventually flee if you cannot defend, but your commanders will live to fight another day. In the menu, you will see a codex option. This has all the information the game has to offer. Your classes, skills, items and traits build your commanders and troops throughout the game. The classes and skills come as general upgrades for your squadrons, and the items and traits you find throughout the game, which we will discuss later. Each island is procedurally generated and each encounter is unique. Offering less predictable encounters gives the game a lot of replayability value, especially when mixed with the option to find starting items and traits that you can have for your commanders when starting a new game. Each island can have up to 3 types of houses, and if defended successfully, the large square one offers 3 gold, the medium rectangle 2 gold, and the small square 1 gold. But if you fail to defend them and keep your commanders alive, you just won't get the gold. The game works in turns, so that means there is a wave of death that if it catches up to you, it's game over. This can only happen due to bad planning, so think about your strategies carefully before pursuing certain islands. You'll be forced to divide your commanders through certain islands in order to gather more gold for upgrades, rescue other commanders with or without traits, and find new items. Once you successfully defend an island, your commanders that took part in the defense will become fatigued, meaning that you cannot use them on the next battle until you go for the next turn. This is the heart and soul of the game, the commanders. They are able to be upgraded into 3 different classes: archers, infantry and pikes, which further unlocks class specific skills such as volley for archers, plunge for infantry and pike charge for pikes. Additionally, commanders can equip items, but be careful when assigning items to your commanders as they cannot be removed once equipped. Each commander has a certain color and banner design which can have one of 13 traits. New commanders can be recruited from their home islands, which shows a banner underneath. You can only bring 3 of your commanders to defend this island alongside the local commander, which can never flee his home. Most newly recruited commanders come as a regular militia squad, but as you progress throughout the game, the commanders you rescue will eventually have a class already set to them, and the closer you get to the end game, the higher the level the units are. As long as the commander is alive, you can send it to any house that is not under attack by the enemy to replenish the whole squad. You also have the option to flee if there is no chance of actually defending the island. Do note that you need a boat big enough for your remaining squad, but if it's just the commander, any boat will do. The militia is your starting squad, also known as swordsmen. They are the weakest type of unit against most enemies, if not all enemies. They can be upgraded into 3 classes: archers, infantry and pikes, and this action can't be reverted. The player's sole choice for a ranged unit is an archer. They perform best when firing in greater numbers from higher vantage points or towards the rear or side of adversaries because they are incredibly vulnerable in melee combat. When assisted by infantry, they might be useful against adversaries with shields. They may also force protected foes into the sea, albeit this is most effective when the foes are still riding the boats. They are extremely susceptible to any form of ranged attack, even melee strikes, and they automatically select the nearest units as their targets. The archers can be upgraded twice, increasing their range, fire rate and accuracy. Your archers can unlock and use volley to unleash a volley of arrows that will significantly damage any foes on the tile that is being targeted. Having archers on high ground will allow the volley to target more tiles, because impediments can prevent the volley from doing so. Volley involves significant travel time and may take some time getting accustomed to. Additionally, this ability will not damage your troops and is a great way of dealing with shielded enemy units. Infantry units are shielded militia units at level 1 and are the backbone of any army composition. They have shields to deflect attacks and projectiles, making them a remarkably versatile fighting unit. They are suitable for both attacking and defensive actions. However, they are extremely susceptible if a single soldier unintentionally breaks away from the formation and is assaulted alone and against large numbers of melee enemies, and they cannot also protect against ranged attacks if they are in battle. Like the archers, the infantry class can be upgraded twice into veterans and later into elites. Both ranks give infantry more armor, damage and slightly larger shields. Elite troops are far more durable since they can take more damage in melee before dying and can even go head to head with the toughest of foes. Plunge is the special ability only available to infantry, enabling them to leap from cliffs to do heavy damage to foes below. As you upgrade this ability, you can dive from higher cliffs and deal heavier damage. The Pikes excel in holding positions and defending choke points against all sorts of enemies as long as they don't have any ranged attacks. They perform especially well when defending downhill. They are extremely vulnerable to ranged attacks and other enemy units when they move while engaged in combat. Pikes should be well positioned and stationary before the enemy reaches them. Pike's unique ability is Pike Charge, which can wipe out entire armies, killing them and knocking them into the water. This ability can be used diagonally from various angles and can be upgraded twice, removing its range limitation and increasing its damage. Each class's unique ability are rechargeable and can be used several times throughout the level. Abilities are extremely important and can change the whole outcome of any encounter, especially when combined with the class's traits and items. All the items have a chance to drop after successfully defending an island that has a question mark like such under it. The extra border on the item means it will unlock it as a starting item on one of your commanders when going for a new game. Once you equip an item, this action is non-reversible, so let's go through the 8 items available in the game. The Bomb. Your commander will be able to throw a bomb over close range, dealing high damage and knocking back enemy units. However, be careful with this item as it also damages your allied units. The bomb can be upgraded twice, gaining an extra charge on level 2, a large explosion, extra damage and knockback on level 3, and the item works well with all 3 classes and can be used 1 to 2 tiles away from your squad. Holy Grail. This is a consumable item that can be equipped to a dead commander to bring them back to life. It is a one-time use item, but it can be stacked if you choose it as a starter item once unlocked. The Jabena or Yabena, once equipped, will allow your commander to be used twice per turn and cannot be upgraded. Mines. Mines can be planted anywhere on the map before being attacked, so you can prepare for these encounters. At level 1 you have 2 charges, with each upgrade you gain an additional charge per level, and at level 3 the mines will have a more powerful explosion and higher damage. The mine won't trigger on allied units, but a level 3 mine can wipe out your fully decked infantry squad, so be careful when positioning the mines and your squads when enemies approach. Philosopher's Stone. Equipping this item on a commander will grant it 1 extra gold from the islands it successfully defends. Each upgrade allows it to generate 1 more gold every time you defend an island. The commander holding the Philosopher's Stone must be on the island to gain that extra gold. Ring of Command. Your commanders can equip a Ring of Command to boost the size and strength of their force. The size of the squad grows from 9 to 12 with the level 1 Ring of Command, and goes up to 16 with the level 2 upgrade. Warhammer. The Warhammer gives one of your commanders the ability to deal damage and knock back enemies off cliffs and into the water. This item can be upgraded up to level 3 and each level increases its power. It can be used several times on an island as it has a base 40-second cooldown. Do note that it can harm your allied units by knocking them into the water if they are too close. And last and not least, the War Horn. This item gives your commander the ability to immediately call for reinforcements from a house of your choice on the island. At level 1, the horn calls 3 units and can only be used once per island. At level 2, 5 units can be called, and at level 3, the war horn gains the ability to be used twice on an island with a 12-second cooldown. This item can't be used if all your houses have been destroyed. There are 13 traits available in the game, each with a unique effect and flag design. Traits are passive buffs that can make or break a campaign playthrough. You obtain these traits by successfully defending an island and recruiting a local commander with said trait. Successfully defending an island and recruiting a commander with a trait flag that has a white background will allow the player to use it as a starting trait when beginning a new campaign. Here's a list of all the traits and passive buffs they offer your commanders and their squads. Heavy weapons. Basic attacks from the squad deal increased knockback and stun effects. Collector receives a 50% discount on all item upgrades. Skillful receives a 50% discount on all skill upgrades. Iron Skin reduces the amount of damage taken. Popular increases maximum unit size by 1. Heavy Load allows 1 extra item use per island. It only works with bomb, mines, and warhorn. Fleet of Foot increased movement speed for the whole squad. Rousing Speeches reduces the time taken to replenish troops by about 33%, 1.34 seconds per soldier. Mountain Commander has the same stats as a Brute at level 3 Infantry. The higher the unit level, the stronger the commander. Fearless Commander can never flee from battle. There is no obvious positive buff here. Sharp Weapons. Basic attacks deal increased damage with reduced knockback and stun effects. Energetic reduces cooldown times on all abilities by 33%. Sure-footed grants significant resistance to knockback, stun, and launch effect. And that is about it. That's all the basic information you need to know to successfully lead your commanders and troops to safety. Understanding your troops and your arsenal is key to building a good and viable strategy in this game. So good luck and have fun. Please join the conversation in the comments below if you want to add anything extra to the information already provided, or let me know if I missed or got something wrong. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next videos, where we'll go through understanding the enemies and other tips and tricks. See you soon!